talk that the BJP could go ahead and move a no confidence motion against the Siddaramaiah government if this drama continues. Today there's going to be a BJP JDS meeting that will happen in Bengaluru. They're going to be figuring out exactly what their strategy is for the upcoming assembly session that kicks off from December 8th. In this meeting is when the final decision will be taken about that no confidence motion in the assembly, whether they're going to go ahead with it or not. This is what the Congress doesn't want right now. That the messaging is that, look, governance has taken a back seat. And that's the big news break that's coming in on the BJP JDS meeting that is taking place today in Bengaluru to decide exactly what the agenda is going to be for the assembly session. If this impasse continues within the Congress, then that will be the only single track focus of the BJP in the upcoming assembly session. Now, the High Command, we're being told, has set off a deadline of December 1st. December 8th is the assembly session. If that drags on, if this tussle that we're seeing between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar drags on, then come December 8th, the only issue that will be discussed in the Belagavi assembly session is going to be what's happening between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar. So we're going to continue talking about that. I'll bring in Anaga Keshav. Also, Nagarjun is with me for more on that. Naga, more than anything else, the Congress High Command will be fearful of exactly this. The backlash from the people, the narrative that governance, nothing is being done.
That's absolutely true. In the last 7 days, you have seen limited number of official meetings happening. There are happening, but very limited official meetings happening. Yesterday was one such event where DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah both shared an event. They didn't exchange words on stage. Usually they talk to each other when they sit next to each other. But yesterday they were cold in front of each other, right? DK Shivkumar didn't speak to CM and CM didn't speak to the Deputy Chief Minister. That clearly shows, if you read between the lines, the coldness between them, how they are not okay with each other's presence on stage. And usually you also have seen already BJP taking jibes at the government, saying that the administration has taken a hit, governance has taken a hit in Karnataka. Chief Minister himself agrees that yes, the governance has taken a hit. Embarrassment, there's a lot of embarrassment to the party as well as the government, because each time when you go to the MLA steps out, people are asking, so what is happening? Who is going to be changed? Will you, and ministers when they step out, people are asking, will you still be the minister in the next cabinet or not? Yeah. So there is backlash from people, there's backlash from the media as well, because from the media, the High Command is not taking the call or the final decision. And from the people, they are saying, we are unable to get our work done because the MLAs are busy going to Delhi, the MLAs are busy coming to Bangalore, the MLAs are busy meeting DK, the MLAs are busy meeting Siddaramaiah. Then when does the governance take place? It's not happening. And remember, in 1 week from now, we will have the winter assembly session happening in Belgaum for 15 days. So it's 2 weeks that winter session. And in the session, you need to discuss bills, you need to discuss the progress, you need to give notices, all that would happen. And it's a free time for BJP to attack the government over the last 15 days, what has transpired. If you put on any news channel, if you read any newspaper in Karnataka today, it's about this. It's not about governance. Remember, just 1 day ago, we heard the crop loss remuneration being given out by the state government, by the SDRF fund from the CM office.
Yeah.
That was not highlighted. In fact, in that meeting, what we were told, even before the meeting started, the CM was in a huddle with key ministers. So the governance has taken a back step. Politics has come to the forefront today. And both of them today have no government meetings, and they are not stepping out for inaugurating any event. They're not stepping out for any of events related to the government. Breakfast meet and that's it. And the whole day is reserved for their personal meetings, and most likely DK Shivkumar post the meeting might fly to Delhi is what we are told. But that's a big if. He had booked his tickets last evening, cancelled it because he got a call from the High Command.
That explains it, because there were a lot of questions. DK Shivkumar was headed to Delhi. What happened on that?
He had packed his bags. He was ready to fly. 5 o'clock is the time when KC Venugopal called him and said, you need to sit across the table and discuss with the Chief Minister. And then immediately the tickets were called off, cancelled off. And then they wanted to go early in the morning. But when the breakfast meeting was set up, the time was set up, then he said, okay, let me take a final call post the meeting, because he also doesn't know what would transpire in this meeting. So DK Shivkumar post the meeting, say around 11 o'clock. My assumption is if they sit across the table at 9:30, they would have breakfast easily for say 1.5 or 90 minutes, because post the idli sambar, they want to sit for a coffee also. The nice filter coffee that both of them would sip. and there's a private room. I know the Chief Minister's residence. There's a separate kitchen where there's a dining hall. So these two will sit there. And for the coffee, they would get up and come back to a private room where the Chief...
So it'll be completely one-on-one.
It'll be completely one-on-one, because in the coffee, even the waiters will not be there. The people who are serving, the house staff, will not have access. So they can completely be confidential in person and speak what is happening and speak their heart out in that room. I think DK Shivakumar will request the Chief Minister saying, sir, please, without your cooperation, I will not make this through. I will ensure that all your camp members will be taken into consideration. I will give them prime portfolios. I will ensure that I will be a leader for them also. Trust me, sir. Give me this chance. I will not disappoint you, is what DK Shivakumar, knowing him, would say. He will not put up a fight. He would be requesting the Chief Minister, is what I'm told.
Okay, so if that happens, it'll be very, very interesting. There's a lot of movement here, and the reason for that is because this is considered to be the VIP corridor of Bengaluru. This is where you have all of the residences of the who's who, as far as politicians go, at least, which is why you'll always see constant movement, constant security checks, patrolling happening here. But let's focus, and as Naga said, maybe DK Shivakumar will put forth a request. But let's tell you right now about exactly what happened a few years ago that set the stage for this very moment. Back in 2023, right after the mandate for the Congress in Karnataka, there was a big question mark over who will be the Chief Minister, exactly what we're seeing now. DK Shivakumar, Siddaramaiah were doing everything they had to kind of push the narrative in their favor. The action shifted from Bengaluru to Delhi. Ultimately, it was Siddaramaiah who was chosen, named as the Chief Minister. But there was a clear agreement. DK Shivakumar, his camp, maintained that he would be the Chief Minister in 2.5 years. What was that agreement about? Who made this decision? Who gave their word to DK Shivakumar? Let's go back in time to 2023 and decode that.
A landslide victory in May 2023. The Congress storming back to power in Karnataka. But the seeds of today's crisis were sown on day one. Even before the celebration settled, the succession battle began. Siddaramaiah versus DK Shivakumar. A straight contest for the Chief Minister's chair. One, a mass OBC veteran. The other, a rising Vocaliga powerhouse who rebuilt the party's organization. Both wanting the top job, both had caste blocks, MLAs and political muscle behind them.
There's a clear divide in the Congress High Command on who should be the next Chief Minister of Karnataka, and that's making this decision all the more difficult to make. By High Command, who are we talking about? Well, if you look at the likes of Rahul Gandhi as well as K.C. Venugopal, the both of them are reportedly backing Siddaramaiah. They're saying Siddaramaiah very clearly is the mass leader. He should be made the Chief Minister. What about Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress chief who's holding these back-to-back meetings? Well, what we're hearing from our sources is that he's not too keen on Siddaramaiah as Chief Minister, but not that he's completely backing DK Shivakumar as well. So largely, Kharge's role seems to be that of a neutral Congress president who wants to take a call on what benefits the state of Karnataka. Majority MLAs are also backing Siddaramaiah, and that's a very, very big factor in favor of Siddaramaiah right now. But what goes in favor of DK Shivakumar is the fact that Sonia Gandhi is considered to have a very close equation with DK Shivakumar. Shivakumar has spoken about that time and again, saying, I was made the Congress chief by Sonia Gandhi to deliver the state of Karnataka. I've delivered.
And in those early days, the caste calculus just sharpened the race. The Ahindas, minorities, backward classes and Dalits rallied behind Siddaramaiah. Vocaligas went all out for Shivakumar. Most newly elected Congress MLAs are said to have backed Siddaramaiah in a secret ballot. Sources whispering 60% for him, 40% for DK Shivakumar. Only never officially confirmed. Siddaramaiah's pan-Karnataka appeal and his hold over minorities, backward classes and Dalits worked in his favour. But the Vocaliga push for DK Shivakumar was equally fierce. The community insisting their leader must finally become Chief Minister. That's when the High Command stepped in. MLAs authorized party chief Mallikarjun Kharge to pick the chief minister. What followed was a hard bargain. Followed by whispers of a 2.5-year rotation, DK Shivakumar reportedly asked for the first 2.5 years. Siddaramaiah, citing seniority, refused.
He decided to make Siddaramaiah as the Chief Minister of Karnataka.
The compromise, Siddaramaiah leads the first half, DK Shivakumar takes over in the second. Though never confirmed, it planted the expectation.
A consensus has been reached. You can see Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar standing side by side, making their way inside Kharge's residence right now. The images speak volumes of what the Congress High Command has managed to achieve right now. These are the latest pictures. They're going to be meeting with Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge. They came in the same car from KC Venugopal's residence, and that is a clear indicator, a clear message that they're sending across that all is well. Both of them right now are happy.
According to sources in the DK Shivakumar camp, the power-sharing formula was sealed on May 18, 2023 after long, high-stakes negotiations involving Siddaramaiah, DK Shivakumar, Party Chief Mallikarjun Kharge, KC Venugopal, Randeep Surjewala and DK Suresh. Cut to 2025, 2.5 years later, Karnataka Congress is in turmoil. Both leaders publicly deny a revolt. Both say High Command will decide. But the High Command stays silent, and the Game of Thrones is unmistakable. A victory that once united the Congress is now reopening old fault lines. All eyes remain on Delhi, where the final script of Karnataka's power play will be written. With Akshita Nand Gopal, Bureau Report, India Today.